Your Mazda is about to fail. And it's not because of bad parts or poor engineering. It's because you're making one critical mistake that's slowly destroying your engine from the inside. This mistake is so common, I see it every single week in the shop. Engines with 60,000 miles that look like they've done 200,000. Cylinder walls scored. Carbon buildup everywhere. Oil sludge coating the internals. And when I ask the owner about their maintenance, they say the same thing every time. I follow the manual exactly. I do everything Honda recommends. Wait, did I say Honda? I meant Mazda. But here's the thing, that's actually the problem. Because Mazda's maintenance recommendations in your owner's manual, they're designed to get you through the warranty period, not to make your engine last 300,000 miles. There's a huge difference. Today, I'm exposing the one maintenance mistake that's destroying Mazda engines across the country, and I'm showing you exactly what to do instead to protect your investment and make your engine last decades. If you own any Mazda, especially a modern Skyactiv model, you need to watch this entire video, because what I'm about to reveal could save your engine and save you thousands of dollars in repairs. Let's get into it. The mistake. Following the 7,500-mile oil change interval. Here it is. The mistake that's killing Mazda engines. Following the factory-recommended 7,500-mile oil change interval. Wait, what? You're saying I shouldn't follow what Mazda recommends? Exactly. Let me explain. When Mazda says you can go 7,500 miles between oil changes, they're technically correct, under absolutely perfect conditions, with highway driving only, in moderate climates, with a light-footed driver who never sits in traffic. Yes, the oil can last 7,500 miles. But here's the reality. Almost nobody drives under those perfect conditions. Most people do a mix of city and highway driving. Most people sit in traffic regularly. Most people make short trips where the engine never fully warms up. Most people live in climates with temperature extremes. And under those severe service conditions, 7,500 miles is way too long. But Mazda doesn't emphasize this in their marketing. They don't make it obvious in the owner's manual. Why? Because 7,500 miles sounds way better than 5,000 miles when you're comparing maintenance costs at the dealership. Our maintenance is cheaper. You only need oil changes every 7,500 miles instead of every 5,000. It helps them sell cars, but it destroys engines long term. And here's the worst part. By the time you realize there's a problem, your warranty is usually expired and the damage is already done. What happens when you wait too long? Let me paint you a picture of what's happening inside your Mazda's engine when you stretch oil changes to 7,500 miles under real-world conditions. Miles 0 to 3,000, fresh oil, everything's great. The oil is clean, protective additives are at full strength, and your engine is running beautifully. Miles 3,000 to 5,000. Oil starts breaking down. The detergents start losing effectiveness. Tiny metal particles from normal wear accumulate. If you do a lot of short trips, fuel contamination starts building up. But the oil is still doing its job. This is actually the ideal time to change it. Miles 5,000 to 7,500. Accelerated degradation. Now the oil is really struggling. The additives are depleted. The base oil is breaking down. Viscosity is changing. In a Skyactiv engine with direct injection, carbon deposits are forming on intake valves and piston tops. Sludge is starting to accumulate in the valve cover and oil pan. Metal particles are circulating through the engine instead of being suspended safely in fresh oil. Miles 7,500 plus. Damaged territory. If you're one of those people who goes a little over on oil changes, pushing to 8,000 or 9,000 miles, you're now in active damage territory. The oil has lost most of its protective properties. It's more contaminant than lubricant at this point. And your Skyactiv engine, with its tight tolerances and high compression, is suffering. Piston rings aren't sealing properly. Cylinder walls are getting micro scratches. Timing chain wear accelerates. All of this is invisible. You won't see it. You won't feel it. Until one day, at 80,000 or 100,000 miles, your engine starts burning oil, running rough, or throwing codes. And by then, the damage is done. Why Skyactiv engines are more vulnerable? If you've got a Mazda with a Skyactiv engine, which is basically every Mazda from 2012 onwards, this problem is even worse. Here's why. Higher compression ratios. Skyactiv engines run 13:1 compression or higher. That's what makes them so efficient. But higher compression means higher cylinder pressures, which puts more stress on the oil film between pistons and cylinder walls. Old, degraded oil can't maintain that film strength. Result: accelerated wear. Tighter tolerances. Skyactiv engines are built to extremely tight tolerances to maximize efficiency and minimize friction. But that means there's less room for error. When oil gets thick with contaminants or loses viscosity, it can't flow through those tight passages properly. Critical areas like the timing chain tensioner or variable valve timing actuators get starved of proper lubrication. Direct injection. Unlike older port-injected engines, Skyactiv engines spray fuel directly into the combustion chamber. That means there's no fuel washing over the intake valves to keep them clean. When oil vapors from the crankcase get sucked into the intake, normal on all engines, they bake onto the valves and create carbon buildup. Fresh oil with strong detergents minimizes this. Old, degraded oil makes it way worse. I've personally seen Skyactiv engines with only 50,000 miles that had intake valves so caked with carbon they could barely open properly. All because the owner followed the 7,500-mile oil change interval religiously. The engine was technically maintained per factory specs, but it was still destroyed. If you're enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. This helps me bring you more honest car advice for my Mazda guys. The real-world oil change interval. You should follow. So what's the right interval? Here's what I recommend based on years of working on Mazdas and seeing what actually works. 5,000 miles or 6 months, whichever comes first. That's it. Simple, easy to remember, and it actually protects your engine. But that's gonna cost me more money. Yes, about $60 more per year if you're doing your own oil changes. Maybe $120 more if you're paying a shop. Compare that to a $5,000 engine replacement or a $1,200 carbon cleaning service. Which would you rather pay? And here's the thing. If you drive under severe service conditions, which most people do, even 5,000 miles might be pushing it. What qualifies as severe service? Frequent short trips, less than 10 miles. Stop-and-go traffic regularly. Extreme temperatures, below 32 degrees Fahrenheit or above 90 degrees Fahrenheit regularly. Dusty or dirty environments. Towing or carrying heavy loads. If more than 2 of those apply to you, consider changing your oil every 3,000 to 4,000 miles. I know that sounds extreme to modern drivers, but it works. I've seen Skyactiv engines with 200,000 plus miles that still have clean cylinder walls and minimal wear because the owner changed oil every 3,000 to 4,000 miles religiously. How to tell if you've already damaged your engine. Maybe you've been following the 7,500 mile interval for years. How do you know if you've already done damage? Here are the warning signs. Oil consumption. If you're adding a quart of oil between changes, that's a sign of worn piston rings or valve seals. Fresh oil and shorter intervals might slow the consumption, but the damage is already done. Rough idle carbon buildup on intake valves causes rough, uneven idling, especially when cold. If your Mazda shakes at stoplights or takes a while to smooth out after starting, you've got carbon issues. Loss of power. Carbon deposits reduce airflow and compression efficiency. If your Mazda feels sluggish or doesn't accelerate like it used to, carbon buildup might be the culprit. Check engine light codes related to misfires, VVT issues, or fuel trim problems are often caused by carbon buildup or oil-related wear. Oil looks terrible at 5,000 miles. Pull your dipstick at 5,000 miles. If the oil is already black, thick, or smells burnt, your engine is working that oil hard. That means 7,500 miles is definitely too long for your driving conditions. Valve train noise. If you hear ticking or tapping from the top of the engine, especially on cold starts, your timing chain, lifters, or VVT actuators aren't getting enough lubrication. Old oil can't flow quickly enough to those critical areas. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms, it's time to get aggressive with maintenance. The recovery plan. If you've been waiting too long. If you've been doing 7,500-mile oil changes and you're seeing symptoms, here's your recovery plan. Step 1. Change your oil immediately. Don't wait until you hit 7,500 miles. Change it now. Use high-quality full synthetic 0W20 that meets Mazda's specifications. Step 2. Switch to 3,000-mile intervals for the next 3 changes. This flushes out accumulated sludge and contaminants faster. After 3 oil changes at 3,000 miles each, you can go back to 5,000-mile intervals. Step 3. Use an engine flush. Before your next oil change, add a can of engine flush, like Liqui Moly engine flush, and idle for 10 minutes. This helps dissolve sludge and carbon deposits. Then drain, change the filter, and refill with fresh oil. Step 4. Consider a carbon cleaning service. If you've got intake valve carbon buildup, you'll need to get it professionally cleaned. This involves removing the intake manifold and manually scrubbing the valves. It costs $400 to $800 depending on the shop, but it's necessary to restore performance. Step 5. Monitor your oil level monthly. Start checking your oil level once a month. If it's dropping, you've got wear issues that need to be addressed before they get worse. Step 6. Get an oil analysis done. Send a sample to Blackstone Labs, $30. They'll tell you exactly what's in your oil and how much wear your engine is experiencing. This gives you concrete data instead of guessing. If the analysis shows high wear metals, you know you need to be even more aggressive with maintenance going forward. The oil quality matters just as much as interval. Changing your oil more frequently is only half the battle. You also need to use the right oil. Here's what you should be using in your Mazda. Full synthetic 0W20 or whatever your manual specifies. Don't use conventional oil. Don't use synthetic blend. Full synthetic only. Modern Skyactiv engines need full synthetic to handle the heat, pressure, and tight tolerances. Meets Mazda specifications. Look for oils that meet API-SP or ILS-AC, GF6A standards. These are the latest specifications that include protection against low-speed pre-ignition, LSPI, better fuel economy, and reduced emissions. Stick with quality brands. Mobil 1, Castrol Edge, Pennzoil Platinum, Valvoline Advanced, or Mazda OEM oil. Don't cheap out with store-brand synthetic. The quality isn't consistent. Change the filter every time. Always use a quality oil filter. OEM Mazda filters, Fram Ultra Synthetic, Mobil 1, or Bosch Premium. Never reuse a filter. Never use bargain bin filters. The filter is just as important as the oil itself. Why Mazda won't officially recommend shorter intervals? You might be wondering, if shorter intervals are so important, why doesn't Mazda just recommend them? 3 reasons. Warranty costs. If Mazda recommended 5,000-mile intervals, they'd have to honor that under warranty. That means more free oil changes during the warranty period. More costs for Mazda. Marketing. 7,500-mile oil changes sounds better than 5,000-mile oil changes when you're comparing brands. Lower maintenance costs help sell cars. They only care about warranty period. Mazda's goal is to get your engine through the 60,000-mile powertrain warranty without catastrophic failure. After that, not their problem. You're out of warranty. If your engine fails at 80,000 miles because of oil-related wear, Mazda doesn't pay for it. You do. So they have no financial incentive to recommend the absolute best maintenance schedule. They recommend the minimum that keeps engines alive through warranty. That's the ugly truth. The total cost comparison. Let's do the math on what this actually costs over the life of your Mazda. Following Mazda's 7,500-mile interval, 10 oil changes over 75,000 miles. Cost $600 if DIY, $1,200 at a shop. Likely carbon cleaning at 60,000 miles, $600. Possible engine repairs at 80,000 to 100,000 miles, $2,000 to $5,000. Total $3,200 to $6,800. Following 5,000-mile interval, 15 oil changes over 75,000 miles. Cost $900 if DIY, $1,800 at a shop. No carbon cleaning needed. No engine repairs needed. Total $900 to $1,800. Even with more frequent oil changes, you're saving money because you're preventing expensive repairs. Plus, your engine will easily hit 200,000 plus miles instead of dying at 100,000. The bottom line. The 7,500-mile oil change interval is designed to minimize Mazda's warranty cost and make their maintenance look cheaper than competitor. It's not designed to make your engine last 300,000 miles. If you want your Mazda to actually last, you need to change your oil every 5,000 miles or 6 months with high-quality full synthetic. Under severe service conditions, go even shorter, 3,000 to 4,000 miles. Is it more expensive? Slightly, but it's way cheaper than replacing your engine at 80,000 miles. Your Mazda is a great car. Skyactiv engines are well designed and can last hundreds of thousands of miles. But only if you stop following the factory intervals and start doing what actually protects your engine. Don't let this mistake destroy your engine. Change your oil more often. Use quality synthetic. And your Mazda will reward you with decades of reliable service. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to watch this next video as we're sharing insider tips to help you cut repair costs and keep your car running like new.